So good morning and welcome to another episode of Better Business, Better Life. Today I'm joined by Kimberly Ramsey, and Kimberly and I actually met in EO many years ago. She's the co-founder of Vidzing, which is a new technology company. It actually it started in February 2021. It got its first employee in April, and it's now up to 10 employees and just launched last week. And the concept behind Vidzing is it's basically like a YouTube channel where you can actually stream your content behind a payment gateway, which means you can set up your own YouTube channel and actually stream your content with people paying to view that content. And Kimberly will tell us more about why she came up with that idea, because her original business was actually around cheerleading. Is that right, Kimberly?
Yeah. Hi, Debra. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm really excited to be on your podcast.
Oh, it's great to have you here. Yeah. Tell us a bit about your background.
Yeah, so I'm actually a tax lawyer by trade, a tax lawyer and an accountant. Realised that wasn't my passion and decided to start a business called cheerleading. So I actually started the sport of cheerleading in New Zealand, and that's been going now for almost 19 years. So we're a cheerleading company. We teach kids cheerleading classes. We run cheerleading and dance events and apparel. And then over COVID, like everybody, we got stuck in that virtual world of Zoom classes and then running events over live stream. And when we were trying to live stream our events, we realized that actually there was nothing that existed to let us live stream and get paid. Live streaming is easy. You can live stream on Facebook or YouTube, but actually getting paid for that content is hard. Likewise, giving away your content on YouTube is easy, but it was the payment gateway that we found really difficult. And so we decided to pivot and start a tech company.
And that is a huge pivot. So, but I'm really interested to sort of find out, because I didn't realize you were a tax lawyer, actually. That's really fascinating. So a tax lawyer come cheerleader who decides to get into technology. I'm assuming you don't have much of a background in technology.
Oh, zero. When you think about it, I actually have done some pretty big pivots from tax law at Bell Gully to cheerleading. And again, I knew nothing about cheerleading when I started that too. So no, I knew nothing about tech. We did go to a company to build it for us, and then I didn't think they were the right fit. So my son had just finished a computer science degree. I went, screw it, actually. Let's just do it ourselves. And so that's what we did. So knowing nothing, we took the first month we started start of February, and YouTubed a whole lot of stuff. We listened or read a lot of books on tech. Look, I didn't even know what my first employee needed to be or where to start. So, but with Google and everything, you can learn anything. So I was like, well, we'll just figure it out, and we did. So it's very cool.
Fantastic. And when we talked just before the podcast, you were saying to me that you actually approached somebody from TVNZ to get some help. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so on my journey listening, Audible, if you don't know it, get Audible. I do 10 books a month on Audible while I'm driving, on the shower, or whenever I can. A lot of those books are talking about content and how to acquire content. And I was like, holy crap, I don't even know what content is in the scheme of what we were trying to do. Yeah. So I went onto LinkedIn and put in content acquisition person New Zealand. And it just happened that the top content acquiring person for TVNZ was on there. She had been furloughed or let go during the lockdown, as had quite a few TVNZ people. So I called her and said, hey, look, I'm starting this tech platform. Can you just talk to me about content? And she was like, okay, that's weird, but sure. And she goes, I don't know what I can add. I said, look, could you just come and sit with me? I'm just going to ask you questions. I need to learn everything I can about content and broadcasting and TV and channels and everything. And she was amazing. And she shared all of her knowledge and put me in touch with some other really cool TVNZ people. And look, I sold them on the vision and brought them on my journey. And now we have some of the best media people from New Zealand working, on this little startup called Vidzing, crazy mother and son team. So
excellent. And so, I mean, it's not been a long time, but between February and now, I mean, there's been a few, should we call them speed bumps along the way, hasn't there? I mean, there's been another lockdown. There's been a whole range of things going on. What are some of the challenges that you faced in that time?
Well, look, I mean, our first challenge was finding the right technology, piecing it together, and look, our vision was to create a platform for people to sell video content. And if we were thinking it, we wouldn't be the first. So we're obviously in this huge rush to market. Speed's going to be the name of the game. There's a huge mindset shift now with people because of COVID. So everyone now is thinking more virtually, and everyone's a lot more open to doing, Zooms and learning virtually and attending conferences virtually. So we knew that there was a mindset shift happening and we needed to be a part of it and fast. So getting people on board, I think, because there's a huge tech shortage of people in New Zealand, and the borders are closed, so you can't have people come in. So it's really about trying to convince or sell those first employees that we're the right place. And a few people just said, no, we don't get it. And what do you? Don't you do cheerleading? Like, why would I give up the comfort of a job at Spark Sport or, the digital strategist of ASB and come and work for, a cheerleading mum and son. So, we managed to do a good job and got some really cool people. And then it was trying to convince people that we had a platform that would work. And the NZ Opera took a punt on us. And when we had that first lockdown, we streamed their event and it all went perfectly. They loved us and they've just been a really great advocate for us since then. So the lockdowns are perfect for our platform. So every time we have a lockdown, more people start thinking about how to live stream and sell virtual content. Not so great for the event business or the cheerleading, but definitely for Vidzing. It's good.
But you're using the platform for your cheerleading lessons and things too, is that right?
Yeah, so we use it to live stream our competition. So a lot of people think, is live streaming all this virtual stuff just a COVID thing? But what we've found is it's actually a whole new revenue stream. So if you were to attend a conference or if you were to attend, say, the 660 concert where they offered in-person and virtual, they're completely different experiences. So, it's for those people who can't be there. So what we found was we live streamed in 2020 when COVID hit. And then at the start of the year, our numbers doubled for the virtual attendance, even though we weren't in a lockdown. It was people from Australia or Wellington or Christchurch that wanted to attend an Auckland event, but didn't want to spend the expense of being there, but still wanted that opportunity to compete. So, it basically doubled revenue. And I think that's the thing, there's this whole new revenue opportunity out there for people, to sell content. And I think that's the other thing as well. I mean, content's always been free for so long. There's a bit of a mindset shift now and people going, I will pay for good content. So
yeah, no, it is really interesting. I know that I obviously also had to switch to doing things online, and I work with entire leadership teams. So getting, 6 to 8 to 10 people in a room together online to do a video conference. If you'd asked me a year ago, I'd have said, no way, don't enjoy it, much prefer face-to-face. And to be fair, I do still prefer face-to-face. But that said, I can now work with teams that are in the US or teams that are split across different locations as well. So I've got one company who's got a team in the US, a team in Australia, a team in New Zealand, and I can work with all of them virtually. And I've got all the setup in the workshop to do that. So I think the whole COVID thing has definitely had to change. Well, it's changed our mindset more than just the way that we do things.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it has actually opened up the whole world to us. And I love that, so we can, have those distributed teams as well as, being able to experience things you wouldn't normally experience. So I went to the Tech Disrupt conference that, in the past is you'd have to have traveled there and it was an expense that now you can enjoy virtually. So, I think it's cool. There's a lot of good things to come out of COVID if you look at the positives.
Yeah, absolutely right. EOS actually does a conference as well. It's always in the US. And as you said, it's not just the expense, but it's actually the travel. It's the time lost with travel. It's the jet lag and all of that. Whereas now anybody from anywhere in the world can actually join in, which makes it great. And I've made some amazing friends now through, attending overseas conferences. So I've got friends in Holland. I've got friends in the UK. I've got friends in the US. It's a lot of fun. So in terms of, you talked about, finding the right people, and obviously it's tough in the tech industry. And you said that you sort of sold them on coming and joining you. But what did you really do? How did you make sure that you actually did get the right people?
That's tough. And I think it's always a bit of a punt, but, as I'm sure many of your guests sort of said, culture fit's really important. So aligning values. And we were really lucky that we've had people who found people. So we had a lot of recommendations. So once people came in and started working for us and felt the culture and enjoyed it, they were our best advocates to recommend other people. So I'm terrible. I did very few reference checks. So I was like, okay, actually, anyone who wanted to work for me, I'll take you, kind of. So we were pretty open. But yeah, value-wise, made sure they were the right fit. And then also, we're just kind of really honest about what our vision was and what we wanted to achieve and how we were doing really, cool and different things. And I think we've kind of followed the Netflix type thing, which is freedom and responsibility, which means that because I know nothing about tech, and in the past I've been a bit of a micromanager, I'm pretty much all hands off, and so it's all about discussion and people leading and doing a lot of autonomy and learning from people's experiences. They have a lot more than what we know. So
that's really interesting, isn't it? Because you've almost had to take a hands-off approach and not be a micromanager because it's not your forte. What's the difference? Because you've obviously, I think you and I are a little bit similar. We do like to keep control of things. A lot of entrepreneurs do, right? So what's the difference between working in a business where you are, really micromanaging and letting go? What have you seen being the differences?
Oh, look, I feel like I'm the dumbest person in the room, so I'm obviously in the right room. That's what they say. Yeah. It's amazing to work with people that know so much more than you do. And what I think I can bring is just a different view because I'm not constrained by what technology can do. I say to the team, can we do this? And they're like, no, that's not possible. I'm like, why? Why is it not possible? Yep. Because I don't come from that tech world. I think everything is possible. So I think just we've got a lot of different experiences when we come to like the tech that what we're building is really difficult. And there's a lot of technical challenges. So we get everyone in the room, and having zero tech knowledge, I think just helps people broaden their ideas, I guess, so yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, fair enough. In terms of the team, do you meet weekly? How do you keep the communication up? How do you make sure that you're on the same page?
So we've got an amazing BA who's the business analyst, and her job is to make sure we're very organised. It's completely different to my other businesses. So we have a weekly, they're called sprint planning. So we have a weekly sprint planning where we put out what the objectives are for the week, and then everyone gets a ticketed items of what needs to be completed by the week. So that's very, very organised. And we also have an amazing product manager as well who goes, here's what we need to build for the team. I think for me, what I've learned most is that I will just keep throwing things at the team and the staff, and we'll just go, yes, and everyone's a people pleaser. It's like, yep, we'll do it all. Whereas this way, we're so accountable. People are like, okay, if you want us to do this, we have to drop something else. What is it that you'd like us to drop? So everyone is very accountable to how they need to, do things. So we meet daily. We have a sprint planning session every week, and then we also do what they call a retrospective. So we go, how was the week that's been? What can we do better? Start, stop, keep. So I've never been in such an organised company, and what's so nice is I've had zero to do with it. So fabulous.
It's all about having the right people around you, isn't it? So how do you measure success, like in the new company? Well, actually, talk a little bit about the cheerleading and also about the technology company. How do you measure success in both of those companies?
Okay, so for the tech company, it's definitely not money because we're losing money like you would believe. But success in that company is having happy customers. So on Friday, we ran a quiz night for Lifeline. We raised $10,000. We did something that's I don't think's really being done. So we live streamed the quiz using a platform and then zoomed people in, and then in real time people could answer. So solving really cool things like that looks like success. Problem solving and coming up with a solution looks like success to me. In the cheerleading, what I love is that our role isn't to teach kids cheerleading. Our role is to teach kids life lessons. So discipline, hard work, drive, perseverance, all of those things that you get to learn safely in a sport, failure, learning from mistakes. So I love that we can make great people. So that's what success looks like to me.
Excellent. Okay. And so I assume there are plans for the tech company to make money at some point.
Yeah, I would hope so.
What does the future look like, do you think?
Look, I'm excited about what we're doing, and I think you have to have a really big vision. So our like BHAG or 10-year goal or 5-year goal is for our company to pay out content creators, $1 billion or $10 billion, and we're a commission based company, so we add a service fee on top of everything that gets paid out. So, but if our content creators are successful, then our platform will be successful. So, yeah, we're hoping that we can help creators build their businesses and make lots of money. So
perfect. And so, out of interest, who is your target market for that platform?
Oh, look, that's a really tricky question. So, and from every book I've read, they've said you've got to be niche and you've got to stay in a lane and then expand, like Facebook and Harvard and all of that. And I actually read a book called Positioning, and the lady's called April Dunford. She's amazing. Anyway, I messaged her afterwards to say we don't have a target market yet, and we're really mushy. I don't know if that's the right word, but we're kind of going after everybody, which is what they say you shouldn't do. But we don't know enough about our market yet to be able to niche, and we certainly don't want to niche down too quickly. And what my content acquisition person lady said is we don't want to just show cheerleading, and we don't just want to be music, because then we'll be a platform that's just music based, or we're just cheerleading. And so we're particularly going really wide, and we're opening up the platform to anyone who wants to sell content, and then we're kind of choosing the right partners. And then once we understand and get more data, then we'll know who our target audience is. But ideally, we would love people who have audiences. So if you've got content that you want to sell and you've got an audience to sell it to, then you'd be the right person for us.
Yeah. So that is a niche in itself. I mean, I think you're being a little bit unfair or a bit unkind to yourself, because the niche doesn't have to be it's females who are this age. It's actually more about describing the demographics, and it's the fact that people who've got an audience, who've got content, who want to sell that content. It in itself is actually a niche.
Oh, cool. Okay, so then that's our niche. But we're also like we could be live stream, we could be sports, we could be music, we could be one-off events, and basically we want it like a YouTube, really. Just if you've got content, or you would like to start a content business, or you're an influencer that's tired of getting paid cents on the dollar at YouTube, then come over to Vidzing, bring your content, and give it a go and try and sell it.
So tell me, Kimberly, your role in the business now. So what's your role in the Vidzing business?
It's a really good question. Vision. So I'm, I guess, the chief vision officer, if you would. So a lot around the product and what I think people need. I'm a huge advocate for the creator, and so that's big to me. Is making sure that one of our values is creator first. So we'll always make sure that we're doing best by the creators, and then I'm the sales lead person, just trying to get as many people on the platform so that we can learn and build what people like. So
tell me how your life has changed since having to make this sort of massive pivot.
It was actually, I was up to 1 or 2 in the morning last night doing stuff on the event business, and we extended our bubble and it came to my mum's, and so right now I'm running 4 businesses, so it's quite a lot. So it's quite full on, especially over COVID. I think people, I don't know, for some reason I work a lot harder in a lockdown than in a non-lockdown. There's just so much work to do. Yes. But I absolutely adore what I'm doing and love it. It's meant I've had to get better at managing the other businesses so that I can be more full-time on the tech business. So a lot more systems and processes in place, and busier. but funner. I don't know. It's cool. I enjoy what I'm doing. I enjoy the challenges that we have every day. I love working with cool people, and I like building something that I think could change the world and help, and help people.
Yeah, and I can see that. I can see the passion there. It was absolutely fantastic. Hey, I completely forgot at the beginning of this interview to ask you about what your professional and personal best was. And I always ask my guests because I think it gives people a bit of an insight into you. So what would you say your professional and personal bests are in your life so far?
Professional best. Ooh, so many. I think, look, starting Vidzing with my son's cool. Like, who gets to do that? That's just amazing. And then also getting other crazy people to come and work for us also. So that's pretty cool. And look, we're funding it ourselves as well. So the fact that I think the fact that I've had that cheerleading and the event company has been so awesome to be able to give me the lifestyle and to create wealth and value that the bank would loan me the money to run Vidzing is, for me, pretty cool. So I guess that's probably my professional best.
Yep.
And just running really cool companies with cool people. Personal best. Personal best. Probably about the same. I think my lives are kind of entwined, and I love doing business. It doesn't feel like work or professional. It just feels like, so again, doing that with my son's cool. Having 3 beautiful kids, and being with my husband, we're coming up to 26 years. So I think personally having a happy home life and a loving family be my.
Perfect. Tell me, does your husband work in the business at all?
Oh no, that's not going to happen. I love my husband to pieces, but we certainly wouldn't be together 26 years if that was a thing. No, he's a happy sideline person who gives me lots and lots of really cool insights and helps. Yeah. So, but no, very separate.
Yeah, no, I concur with that. There's different people, different horses, different courses. I know I've got a couple of friends who actually work in the business with their husband and love it, but I can't. I love my husband dearly, but I could never work with him.
I think I could work for my husband. I don't think he could work for me. So.
Hey, just in terms of being able to share some of the things that have been really important to you, do you have 3 top tips that you could share with our listeners, Kimberly?
Yeah, absolutely. So number 1, Audible, love it to pieces. Yeah. It's really easy to devour a book at 2 times speed. Yes. So, like I said, I do 10 books a month, and I'm sitting in my car listening to, a book, and other people driving past, and I just feel like I'm getting smarter. I feel a bit smug about myself going, I'm learning. So, absolutely listen to books or read books or whatever. I was actually never a reader. So I actually but once I got onto Audible, it's phenomenal. Number 2, don't worry if you don't know how to do something. So I didn't know how to start a tech company, and I certainly didn't wait to get the knowledge beforehand. I just jumped straight in. So if you're waiting for the perfect time or for the right answers or to do all the research, it's not going to happen, and then it will change anyway. So I think just go for it. Just jump all in. And I think if you weigh up the risks, so I said to my husband and said, okay, if this doesn't work, we'll lose $2 million. Are we okay with that? And I'm like, yeah, could go back and live at my mum's. I'd be okay with that. My husband wouldn't. But I was like, if I'm okay with that, what a great learning opportunity it would be. And my son would learn heaps, and, let's go for it. So I think that would be number 2. And number 3.
So just to be really clear, that so you knew your boundaries though, right? Because I did the same. I lost a lot of money in a business, but I knew what my boundaries were in terms of this is the bit I will cut off at, and then
100%. I'm all in, and I know what the worst thing is that could happen, and I've weighed up all the risks and be okay with going, this is what failure. Well, this is what it would look like if it didn't happen. So just a really, really expensive learning university degree in technology. Right. And then it's not lost. And then 3rd, I think, you don't fail until you stop. So if this doesn't work, then we'll pivot and try some other tech business or something. So,
So just, keep learning, keep pivoting, don't get stuck in something that's not working. Fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, so if people are interested in finding out more about Vidzing, or even talking to you, where will they find information? So,
Yep, Vidzing, Vidzing.tv, Vidzing.tv.
fantastic. If they wanted to have a chat to you,
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm on Instagram under Kimberly Ramsey or Facebook, or again, you can find me through vidzing.tv. I answer all the emails, so.
hopefully not forever. I hope it's going to be delegated at some point. Fantastic. Hey, well, look, Kimberly, it's been really, really great to talk to you. I haven't caught up with you for a long time, so it's been lovely to see how you're going, and you're just absolutely glowing. And it's wonderful to see, how excited and how passionate you are. I think it's wonderful that you're doing a business with your son. I mean, I think that is, as you said, that is just something that is pretty rare and pretty special. So congratulations. I hope it all goes really, really well for you, and I look forward to following your journey.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I so appreciate you having me on. And I think this is a wonderful podcast, and so great for you to share other people's stories. So appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You have an awesome rest of your day, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you.